Hi guys, and welcome back to Archie Hamilton Racing, and welcome to Le Mans 24 Hours 2026, where in today's video you're going to see everything from a driver's perspective on what it takes in this race. So let's go. Right, the grid is incredibly busy. The car, which is qualified in 6th position overall, the Hypercar, is in there. We need to try and get in there. So at this point, it's all about making sure everything's right in terms of you've done all the checks, you've done the warm-up, all the parts on the car have been replaced, you're ready to go, you're talking with your engineers, but you can't do anything at this point. This is just the pre-race nerves. The car is through here, so I'm going to show you exactly as you go through here.
Oh?
There it is. Oh, it looks unbelievable. It's just very hot. I mean, the drivers need to cool. You do have air conditioning in the car, but yeah, it's incredibly hot. But look, this is it. Everything's done. You can see the Shell logo at the bottom left, Patrick. Have a little look. Shell are the innovation partner of Genesis Magma Racing, and they were very much involved in the development of this engine, creating a bespoke lubricant for the car. So they've been massively influential in this project. It's not just something which is just a sticker on the car. To get in the top 10 in qualifying, some people never do it. They've done it on their debut. But you've got to get to the end of 24 hours, you know? You get to 4 in the morning, you're only halfway there. This is one of those things where you've got to look after the car, stay off the curbs, and maintain it. You know, you've got 24 hours to go. And it's also one thing to note as well that Shell's involvement with Le Mans, WEC, it's not just with Genesis Magma Racing, it's involved with a couple of other teams and manufacturers as well. So it's a huge project, but one where they are fully committed to it, and it is so important, the lubricants in the car. You know, these engines, they're operating at, you know, well over 200 miles an hour on the straights. And that is tough on the engines. It's very known that Le Mans is very tough on engines in general because it is a lot of time you are at full throttle, which means the engine is at full capacity. So yeah, it's a big thing, and yeah, it's so interesting to see their involvement in it. So as a driver now, it's just everything going through the motions, probably just chilling in the cool. This madness is great, but as a driver, it can be a distraction, you know. So. The best thing at this point of view is just to keep cool, talk with your engineers. You'll be going through a bit of a run plan. You know, the driver who's starting will probably do between 2 to 3 hours. You're going to be doing 45 to 50 minutes on fuel. First stop, you're not going to change tyres. Second stop, you probably will change tyres, and then you change the tyres for the next one for the next driver. And for us now, I'm going to go and see a couple of my friends that are in the LMP2 class. This is not any race, so yeah, it's great to be here, and I'm looking forward to sharing everything throughout this race from a driver's point of view so everyone can know what it's like. So this is it, nerves settle in, the cars have just left for the formation lap, the music starts to build, the fighter jets have just come over, and this is when emotion starts to hit. I remember when my dad was watching me from not far from here in tears when I was starting the race. Like, it's a very emotional place for me and my family and everyone who's involved at this point, because you've put all the sacrifices to get the car to this point, all the development, all of the behind the scenes. You've done everything you can, and now you just hope. And you're starting one of the most iconic races in the world. And to be here is an honor with Shell and Genesis, because look, not often do you get a view like this, where we are today, outside the hospitality. We get the chance to see them come through here. So what happens is when they come through here, it's a safety car. We'll have them all bunched up with Hypercar, LMP2 and GT3. The Hypercar and the LMP2, they will start quite close together. When they get closer to the start, at last minute, the safety car will peel in, and then you have to wait until the green light. You cannot go before. The leader will dictate the pace. They'll all stay in a sort of group together, but you are told to go to the pace of the leader and not go any quicker and stay at that speed, and then it's go. Genuinely, there are not places better in the world than this. This is like family for me. This is everything. Oh, I love it. Let's go. There's flipping gun. Unbelievable. That is the best. Here we go. The leaders are through. Unreal. That's lap 1 done. Everyone safely through. I think the Genesis car lost a couple of positions to Ferrari, but we've got 24 hours to go. We don't worry about that right now. While you might be able to hear engine noise in the background and the racing is going on, we're a few hours in. We've just arrived to the Shell Track Lab, which is a mobile laboratory where we're going to get the chance to show you around. Because as a driver, you're not going to be seeing all of this which is going on in the background, but there's so much that goes into it. So let's go inside. I can't wait to show you. So let's go. So we're now in the Shell Track Lab with Gusta. Thank you for the lovely introduction.
No worries.
Very cool to see everything that goes into it. It's unbelievable. Tell us briefly what you feel the partnership with Genesis Magma Racing and being a technical partner, that must be really exciting to be involved in the whole development. Can you explain a little bit more?
Oh, 100%. I mean, it was a really exciting time. We came from WRC into WEC together with them, right? We joined testing in Portimao, and that was the first time I saw the car. I was just so excited to see it and to hear it for the first time, right? That first startup and knowing,
sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds amazing in my opinion. But yeah, no, it's really cool to just be involved with them. And we have this, this really cool partnership with them. I feel like we just hit it off right away, right? It's just we came from WRC, we have that background data, and we just could start right away with the new engine.
And you know the engine, right? Or two?
Yeah, it's basically two of the WRC engines. Yeah. So we do have a lot of data from that engine.
Yeah.
And that was the perfect starting point for us to get into the new partnership with Genesis.
Having the track lab, obviously at the track, can you tell us the benefits for viewers that might not know? Because some people might not know, well, surely once the oil is developed, it's a plug and play, but yeah. Can you tell us why it's so beneficial?
No, I mean, it should be plug and play, and typically is.
Yeah.
But this is, of course, the first time we are at Le Mans with Genesis, right? So we want to make sure everything is going right.
Yeah.
That, of course, includes analyzing here in real time, basically.
Yeah.
We have to run over 20 minutes to the track and 20 minutes back, but then it takes maybe 15 minutes to get the first results, right? So we can quite quickly react. And I have to admit, most of the work is done before the race.
Okay.
So free practice and then the qualifying, we get samples after that. And that's kind of the indicator, right? Because in qualifying, typically the engine that is used in the race is also used there. Mm-hmm. So the data we get from that is the final proof point before the race starts. And what we do is we look into wear analysis, for example, to see if the engine is healthy. It's like a blood test, basically, for the oil, for the car in that sense. And yeah, we just want to be sure everything is going right.
And also being part of Genesis Magma Racing and the relationship, do you use some of the information that you gather from the race car into road cars? Does that translate?
It does. I mean, we are calling it track to road, right?
Yeah.
I think in the past it was called win on Sunday, sell on Monday, right?
Yeah.
It is it is related to that in a sense.
Yeah.
No, what we are trying to do is we are testing new ideas on the racetrack, right? It's like a test bed for us because there's less limitations given by specifications that you have to fulfill. So you can just try new things. And the best of those ideas, they can find their way into our road going products. And I think that's a really cool representation of that is the fact that I'm not just working on the racing program, but I'm also working on road going products. So if something has worked really well in a racing program,
they use it.
I can remember it and I'm like, okay, maybe this is something that we can use for the new road product as well.
Yeah.
And that's just one way it can work, right?
Okay, we're in the pits at the moment, in the Genesis Magma pits, and they just had a pit stop. They had to replace a door. Sometimes things like that do happen. Very cool to see how quickly that was sorted. They did it in the pit stop as they were doing tyres, as they did a driver change, allowing them to have the time to do it. If it was just a fuel stop, sometimes it might not be enough time. So it was perfectly done. Straight out, new door, off they go. But yeah, things are going really, really well. The driver who's just got out will now be, yeah, he'll go for a massage, he'll rest, he'll get some food. He'll probably most likely be in the car in about 4 hours, I would say. And the driver getting in the car will probably do now 2.5. But yeah, once you're out, physio, do that. Try and get a bit of sleep if you can. And try and switch off. Don't use too much of headphones and stuff, because you need to switch off because, you know, rest up, get going again, because you never know when you're going to be back in the car. So yeah, all's going well, fingers crossed, and both cars are still going strong. So the sun in the background has just set, and this is when, you know, nighttime racing, it brings an element of just a little bit more exciting than the day. I think that's just because flashing lights, and it's just cool. Both of the cars are doing well. They're still running, and we're probably 4 or 5 hours in now, which is great. So look, at this point, I think keep going. We've got a bit of a long night ahead, but we're just going to enjoy it, cheer the team on, and go actually find some spots around the track where we can see some different braking zones and have some fun. And this is when Le Mans gets so special. We are hours into the night, and we wanted to come to a corner called Archie, which is just after Indianapolis. It's a tight right-hander, second gear corner, I have you know. And it's very busy. It's vibes, there's lots of camping. It is so busy. Queues to get here was absolutely insane, more than we've ever seen before. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna get up close to the action, because it's very dark here. There's certain places of the track which are quite light, such as Porsche curbs, first sector, then you go into the darker sectors, and this part is quite dark, especially on the entry. This is where you really hear the cars go down the gears, and yeah, look, the cars are doing great. I believe they're 9th and 10th as we speak, going into the night, which is great. So driving at night it's a different way of driving, you know. You have to adapt to sort of lights coming at you, approaching corners in a slightly different way, but lots of lap times are done at night because the engines, the air is cooler, so the engines run better. So funnily enough, a lot of the times are done at night, and also early in the morning, happy hours, about 7 a.m. That's when the really, really, really fast times are. The light gets better, engines are running even better. It's mega. And this is, it looks quicker, but the moment you come out of that corner, you're already thinking about the braking anyway. So it's not quick, but it looks quick, but in the car it feels slow. I mean, what's the time now? The time is 1 o'clock. It's still 3 hours away from being halfway. It's a long old race. So yeah, I see 1 a.m. as still early hours of the night. And at this point, this is when my teammate crashed it in 2013. That was a Genesis. It makes me miss it. It makes me miss it and want to come back and do Le Mans again. Like, I've done it twice. Done it in a prototype, so in LMP2, which is one of them. And I've also done it in the GT2. If I could pick one tomorrow, I'd probably go LMP2, but, well, Hypercar, but I'm not sure Genesis are going to put me in the Hypercar. But anyway, yeah, it's just amazing to be back. And I think that, look, to be here in the action, where all the fans come on this side, this specific side, is so nice. And just look, fundamentally, we'll try and be back, I think. Good morning, and we are here on Sunday morning, and you think you're close to the end as a driver, but you still have a full WEC race to go. There's roughly 6 hours still to go. Unfortunately, recently we lost the number 17 Genesis Magma car to a suspension issue, but we still have one car circling around, so fingers crossed we can get that to the end. We're going to go inside the amazing Genesis Magma hospitality, so let's go inside and enjoy the final day here at Le Mans. So we had an amazing lunch in the Genesis Hospitality. We are now at the first chicane at an amazing viewing point on the Mulsanne Straight. Now, back in the day, the Mulsanne Straight didn't have chicanes. It was just one straight public road, which is closed off for the race, obviously, but it's really cool to see. This corner is a third gear corner, heavy braking out of Tete Rouge, braking for the first chicane, third gear in, and then the left-hander is down to a second gear for a good exit. Very important here to focus on the exit. So not so much the right, focus on the left, because the straight going down is so long, so the exit is actually really important. So got to think always exit, exit, exit. But all in all, great place to be. Under 3 hours to go. The Genesis Magma car is going strong, and fingers crossed we get to the end. But yeah, got to bring it home. So we're now back at the hospitality, and I'm joined by Warren Schechter from Genesis Magma Racing. How do you feel the race has gone so far? And also, how do you feel the relationship with Shell as a lubricants partner has benefited the team?
With an hour to go in the race, I guess as far as the race itself goes, it's been quite interesting for us. I think coming into the race, we were very, very excited, obviously, to be here. Momentous occasion for us. Didn't have expectations to be performing very, very well. I think we came into this race mostly with the ambition of trying to get through the race. The 24 hours, you know, is an endurance race, and the endurance is the most important thing for us, showing that we had endurance and making sure we got our car to actually get to the end of the race. And interestingly, that's where, for the most part, where the Shell partnership really ties in for us. Shell invests quite a bit in R&D to develop the lubricants that help the engine be, and all the mechanics be durable, and also on an efficiency standpoint as well. So anyway, I'm kind of digressing a bit, but as far as the race goes, we wanted to get through the race, and because it's an endurance race, we wanted to make sure we got through to the end.
So we're less than an hour to go. Fingers crossed the car makes it to the end. What are the aims for the team after this race?
But then going forward, you know, objectives are this year to continue to grow that partnership. As I said, the R&D with Shell continues to go on every single race. In between the race, we're continuously testing. For this year, we want to continue to build that durability while trying to get some more performance. Yeah. I think this year, if we can aim to get some top fives, that would be a huge success for us. Next year, start sniffing around for some podiums. By year 3, ideally, we're going for wins, and wins include, you know, wins at other events as well as Le Mans win. But by year 3, we want to be competitive enough that we can have.
You want to challenge for wins.
Exactly. That's the intention.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Fingers crossed all goes well, and appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So there's only a few laps to go, and the Genesis Magma Racing car is going to finish, which is above anyone's expectations. To finish your first Le Mans 24 hours is amazing, and onwards and upwards from here. The feeling of finishing, you've just endured 24 hours and put everything on the line. Team, machine, drivers, it's incredible. And this race, emotionally for me, with my family history and me doing it, it's a different kind of feeling. And hopefully you've enjoyed it, because the opportunity to bring this content to you, made possible by Shell Motorsport, has been one I'll always remember, and I hope you will too. And hopefully, maybe in the future, we can go to other sorts of motorsport events and show you behind the scenes of them as well. Fingers crossed. Thank you for watching. Check out Shell Motorsport at Genesis Magma Racing down below. Come on, 2026. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.